Hey there, welcome to the Xenophobic73 channel. My name is Andrew, and this, as I promised in a recent post on the channel, I'll be doing a unboxing and review of the Retro Scaler x2 from Bitfunks. This was ordered from AliExpress. I don't know if it's a third party or whether it's a genuine product. It seems to be, from the box, seems to be fairly legit. Seems to be fairly, and it actually tells you the product specifications, its features. Branding seems to be pretty good. So yeah, let's get this unboxed. Yeah, there is a validation seal down this now, which has our QR on it, which is interesting. So jeez, it's prized in here. Ugh, God. There's my workout for the day. So Retro Scaler x2 AV converter and line doubler quick start guide. So again, normally knockoffs don't have. This is quite a I think this is genuinely the real deal. It's got all the schematics, all the special features, connecting, region compatibility, filter modes compatibility, audio performance, and then similarities to RetroTank and OSSC, the pass through the HDMI. So yeah, RetroTank was Bitfunks' previous foray into the market. The difference between the RetroTank x2 and this is basically one isn't see-through, one is just a bit of foam there. Now discard that. So this is it. This seems to be, as I said, the real deal. So we'll just take that out of its cellophane there now. Cellophane, plastic, whatever you want to call it. So I'll just pop a knife through that now. So let's look at the product first of all. So one side obviously blue, and the back of it, yeah, looks nice enough. So what have we got? We've got the component, red, green and blue, and S-Video connections, and then we've got the composite, which is the RCA video carrier, and then your left and right audio, white and red, and then we've got the USB-C and HDMI output. So basically this is a line doubler. So it's going to smooth over any retro console that has a component or S-Video, and your composite. So typically what we're talking about SNES, we're talking about N64, PlayStation, any console that was built with those components. Obviously they are your two inputs. You've got an on-off rocker switch, which disables and enables the product itself, and then these two connections, which carry composite and RGB composite, outputs it from those connections to HDMI. So what it's basically doing, it's carrying a 240p to 288 pixel ratio and converts it and outputs it to 576 and above, up into 1080, even to 4K, I think, if you can do that. So there is an indicator here, if you can just see in the light. Sorry about the poor lighting. Let me just bring that closer. Sorry. So CBVS, S-Video, the indicator will show you when you plug in and turn on your console and the device. It will then automatically highlight on an LED there if it's output to S-Video, YPBR, which is your component, 2 times and you filter. So depending on whatever mode you click for, so you'll see here your input select, so you click that to switch between the two. And then you've got smoothing mode, which is basically when your RGB signal is on, it'll smooth over the edges to make it so essentially it'll take it from a scanline look to a much smoother RGB look, as though you were looking at it on an old CRT TV. So yeah, so that is basically the product there. What we've got, we'll just put that to one side for just a second. We'll just leave it there together with the manual. We'll look at what basically else comes in the box. So yeah, you have to, as I said before, it comes with a USB connector. So what you actually get in the box also is a block. It's good and sturdy there now. So you've obviously got the connector, which interestingly enough, you're thinking, how does that connect? Because one side of it is actually USB. So what I'm expecting to find, what I'm actually seeing there at the moment, it has a connector, but not a USB. So we'll have a look at that now. Beg your pardon, that's my fault for not looking in the box. I was getting a little bit concerned. So what you've got on there now is connector. So that connects onto the end, and that is your connection via. So that's your USB-C. That plugs neatly into the bottom there. It looks like a USB-C, actually could be USB-C, it's actually a USB-B. So it's almost like a Samsung app. So that plugs in gently into there. And then the other end, obviously, because these sold in different regions. So my region would obviously be UK and Ireland. So you've got your pin there for the likes of Spain and places like that now. So obviously a 2-pin. God, these are boxed in here, so they are. My God, 1 second. So you've got your pin for the United States. And then you've got the one that would work in my region, which is a 3-pin 5-volt 13 amp. So that just slots in there. And that is basically, if you take the box away there now, so that is basically, that's our retro scaler already and all connected. So let's go and see how this works. Okay, so we've got the retro arch down at my desktop area, just so it's easy access. So as you can see here, I have my HDMI, which is coming from my PS2 in question. So what I'm actually taking is I've got a HDMI coming from my capture card. I have component cables from my PS2, which you'll see is just behind me. So what I'm going to do now for you, and hopefully, sorry about the bad angle, I'm going to take the blue cable from the PlayStation 2's composite, plug it into the green as well, and then the red for the composite. Now the audio is tagged slightly differently, so the two cables, you'll know, one has to go into the audio connection, left and right. So and again, these are separated with the cable, and they all are, whatever console you go for, they're all separated. So you have the green, the blue, and the red for the composite, and you'll know the left and right audio. So that's our analog connection. We take our HDMI from our capture card into the bottom, and then finally we take the USB power adapter that we were looking at earlier on, and we just connect that. Sorry about the bad angle, and we just pop that in there just to connect that. So that's it now, that's all connected. And then finally all we need to do then is just switch it on. When you turn on the retro scaler for the first time, don't panic. If you do get all the LEDs lit up, that's just a first time start. This only happens for the first time when you turn the machine on, and doesn't happen again. Okay, so we've just got a side-by-side comparison there. Screen 1 there is just showing my OBS setup. And what I'm testing at the moment, as I said, it's my PS2 that I want to stream and I want to record gameplay on. So the only way I can get this device to work properly, and you see that I have it on at the moment. When you turn it on for the first time, you'll see that I have it on the component connection. Don't be surprised and don't panic to see that all you've got is a black screen. What you have to do for the first time is you'll have to click 2 times, which is the line doubler. And the reason you can't skip it going to filter, because it does them in sequence. So you press it again, and you'll see that the PS2 menu does appear. Now that's you set up. So what you'll find when you'll finish your game session or your recording, you'll switch off the PS2 and you'll switch off the retro sampler. Now when you turn it on again, when you reset the console, going back to later gameplay, again it will do this. So again, turning on the scaler again, it comes on automatically, so there's no need to set that up again. Now again, if you mess around with the settings at any time and take away the filter and the 2 times, you see that you can natively run at its base native resolution without any enhancement. Just to understand that device isn't working when it does that sometimes, because what the PS2 natively does, it'll switch back to its default resolution after some time, and you'll find that most models will actually do that. So again, if you turn back on the machine, you get a blank screen. Again, just re-establish those filters, and then you can disable them again, and that'll come back on. So I hope that explains that. I hope that's not too confusing, but again, it might be something you come across. You might not. Again, it does depend on your configuration of your PC, how you have it set up, and again, the model. Now, as soon as you turn on your PS2, that will obviously reveal the system browser. And as we go into the menu system, just to show you, your video component out is set to red, green, blue, which is component. If you inadvertently switch to RGB, which would have been originally the SCART option, your screen will go blank. That's simply because the PS2 has a switch that switches from RGB SCART to component, depending on what connection you have originally. So if you do that inadvertently, there is a button combination fix which you can use on the PS2, which is for another video. Now folks, I hope you enjoyed the retro scaler and 2 times unboxing and tech test and setup. If you have any questions about this tutorial video, please put your comments in the description. I would appreciate it. And that is it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this piece of content, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks very much now. Bye bye.